For weeds, I have some basic tools. I saw somebody with Michael Moore's book. If you like herbs and you live in the Pacific Northwest, then you need this book. My only gripe with this is that it didn't put the color photographs with the plants themselves, with the pages, but he has some really good illustrations, some really good black and white line drawing. But this is an excellent book for the herbs that grow around here. And any kind of field guide for herbs, I happen to like the Smithsonian Handbook because it's got lots of pretty pictures.
You saw that one in the college store too. That's a really good book.
This one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did buy this at the achs bookstore. Okay. And a book that I didn't bring because it weighs way too much is Sibley's Book of Trees, David Allen Sibley. Excellent book. It's illustrated, but his illustrations and drawings are outstanding. And it's just a delight to go through there and look at all the trees. It covers North America and a little bit down into Mexico, so pretty much any place you're going to be going in our world, it's got all the trees. And there's some interesting facts in there that... oh, this one?
I got that one.
One of Michael Moore's book. Michael Moore passed away recently. He's no longer with us, but... Let's see. So when I go wildcrafting, I like these gimme bags that you get at conferences, and I think they're really great. If you fill this up with nettles, for instance, get a nice, pack them in a little bit. That's a lot of nettles. You can fill when they're dry, you can fill a gallon Ziploc bag with nettles with this, something like this full. And I carry some basic things. Some brown paper bags, if you've got some herbs you don't know what they are, or some mushrooms that you don't want mixing with your other mushrooms because they might be poisonous or something. Then you put them in a little brown paper bag and save them, key them out later, or press them and dry them. Gloves. If you're harvesting nettles, you're going to get stung. They go through clothes, but I like these. The fabric is bamboo, which I think is just a cool thing, that you can have a fabric made from a bamboo tree plant. And at least my hands generally don't get stung. I've been stung by nettles through the back, but I don't care. Nettles are worth it. The compass is good if you're going into an area where you're not sure. I got lost on Mount Hood last year for about 20 minutes or a half an hour.
Scary.
And I was in the middle of the woods, and I looked around. My friends were looking for mushrooms over here somewhere, and I suddenly realized I had no idea where I was at all. So I started yelling for my friends, and they were over here, so I knew that I should probably be going that direction, and the sun was going down that way, so I should be going that direction. That was east. And I came from the east, so I started walking, and I walked for about 10-15 minutes, and I realized that was not the right way, so I had to adjust a little bit. And I came out on the road. The sun was going down. It was getting cold. I started yelling for my friends to hear him. I couldn't hear him. So I walked one direction, and after a while came to a spot that I knew on the road. And I thought, okay, I'm on the right road finally. It was about a half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. And then I heard my friend John yelling, and he was coming from the other direction. So, but the first thing I thought of was GPS. I'm going to get a GPS device, and I'm not going up on Mount Hood because every year someone gets lost on Mount Hood, and sometimes they get found, sometimes they don't. But a really great thing that's trickled down from our taxes in the military is GPS. And you can have a little handheld GPS device for no more than $100. You can have a really fancy one for a couple $100. And if you find a great patch of matsutake mushrooms with a little pin there, and you'll always be able to find your way back. And if you walk in someplace and get lost like I did, you can just go press a little button and you can follow your trail right back out. So a compass is good, but a GPS device is even better. A couple things that I like, I mentioned for digging up roots. An old dinged up screwdriver is a pretty good thing to have for digging up roots. A hand trowel is even better, but for little tiny roots, you can just kind of get in there and dig around a little bit. I popped, I don't know, probably hundreds of dandelion roots up with this little screwdriver over the years. Kitchen shears are great. I harvest nettles and other softer, littler herbs with this. They're really sturdy and really sharp. They stay sharp for a long time. And these are my old, for bigger things. They're not fancy, but I do keep them clean and sharp. Let's see, what else have I got in here? Pocket knives. I think I mentioned earlier, a good pocket knife, I would prefer to have something larger. This is a Pakistani knockoff of a buck knife that I got for about 10 bucks at a flea market, and I've had it for 30 years, and it holds a blade, and if I lose it, it's now going to bother me a little bit because it now has developed sentimental value. But and this is a great little thing. This is a mushroom hunting knife, but it's got a curved blade. It's for cutting mushrooms off just below or at the surface of the soil, and it's got a brush on it. So you know, even if you're cutting up roots or something like that, you got this little handy brush. You can brush most of the dirt off the roots. So this is a nice thing to have. It's got a little locking ring. It's Opinel. It's a French company. They make all kinds of inexpensive knives. And I ordered this over the internet. I can't remember how much it was, but again, if I lose this one, didn't cost me so much that it would break my heart. Another great thing for wildcrafting is pillowcase. And what you can do is, first off, make sure you got the right end. But you roll it up, right? I learned this one from Cascade Anderson Geller. I never thought to use a pillowcase, but once she told me, it made sense. You can roll it way up and safety pin it to the front of you, right? So your hands are free. My hands are free with this, but you know, if I'm walking around, I have to go back and toss the herbs in. And as you fill this up, you can unroll it.
It looks nice too. It looks nice too.
Yeah, I had one with flowers on it, but it wasn't quite manly enough. I do have Star Trek pillowcases, but you know, I wasn't going to bring them out here. They're too precious. One of a kind.
It's very much like the sheet technique we use at our summer school in Greece. We have the way the French women tie it to harvest the lavender. We do the same thing, and it's very cool. It creates this whole kind of like a pouch where you can put all your bounty. Yeah.
I always bring water and snacks, power bars. If you get out here and you might not spend a little more time than you think, or you spend a little bit more energy, and you start getting tired. You know, an apple or an orange or a power bar. My friend Jonathan brings all kinds of food because he knows I get cranky if I don't eat, and he doesn't want to be around me, so he always makes sure that he feeds me. So, and your mouth gets dry when you talk a lot.
And hats.
A hat. Boots that are broken in. Don't ever go out for a really long expedition with brand new boots, even though if you want to try them out. Make sure they're broken in. I made the mistake of going up and climbing all over Mount Hood with brand new boots. Feet were blistered when I got back. Let's see.